How much did you spend on the build?
That's a great question. All in.
What do you get miles per gallon wise?
Miles per gallon, even with the rack and everything.
And how many hours of your hours do you have in it?
I would guess somewhere in the like, hey, my name's Adam and this is my 2006 T1N Sprinter that I built over the last 2 years while working at Campa. Me and my wife live full time in this van, so it's been great to experience and excited to show you all around. I've got this on 245 tires upgraded with Coney shocks up front and Van Compass rear shocks to give it a little better ride. I've also got these light pods that I built out of extra struts from a 2019 Sprinter's suspension takeoff, 2 light pods in the rear, and then 2 on the side of my F45 Fiamma awning, as well as 1 under the steps so you can see all the things at night. We've got a Motion Pro window, as well as our flare space flare that lets us sleep sideways. Built for a 158, but I cut down the edge so it'll fit on the 140 wheelbase T1N Sprinters. Gives me about 6'2" of interior sleeping space. We've got another Motion Pro window for some airflow in the back, as well as a Sherco ladder with a Lolo Racks DIY van rack on there, which makes it super easy to take on and off my bike. Lastly, up top, I've got a Rhino Rack roof rack that I put up here. It's not quite long enough for the van, so I've got an extra cross rail up front and a solar panel that goes in between those. So up here, I've got 190 watts of Zamp solar, which is good to keep the batteries charged. I've got some recovery boards, Amazon special right here, as well as my Pelican case for all of my extra recovery gear, 2 vents, a max air in the front, and a custom that I'll show you in a little bit later in the back.
What do you get miles per gallon wise?
Miles per gallon, even with the rack and everything, I'm usually seeing somewhere around 20 to 22.
How did you design the interior? Like, what was your inspiration?
Yeah, I think the most important thing for me designing the interior was maintaining a lot of open space. And when you're living 2 people in about 80 square feet, you really want a good amount of space to get around each other. We've got our awesome big galley. The biggest part, I guess, down here is our Dometic CFX 55 fridge. A little empty right now, but that's good enough to hold groceries for the 2 of us for a week to a week and a half, which is awesome. We call this the heavy duty food drawer. This pulls out and goes up there for cooking, and then this has all of our pots and pans, mason jars for all of our spices and dry goods that we use regularly for cooking. Just slots right in and you're good to go. 13 by 15 sink for all of your sinky needs on a water pump switch right there. Filtered water if you push it back, cold water if you push it forward. I've only got cold water in this van because I don't really need hot water at my sink, and we've got a shower off the back. In here, this is our bathroom of sorts. It houses our propane for the stove, water filter, and then of course a fire extinguisher just in case things get a little burly. And then lastly over here is a nice big drawer stack. I call this one the oh shit drawer. It's just kind of every little knick-knack that you might need. More food stuff, hot water heater, spices, all of our cutlery and all that good jazz. More extra random crap that we might need. And then the bathroom. Having a toilet that slides out is super nice. We can get to it in the middle of the night if we're sleeping. If you're in a city and you don't want to open the door, it's just awesome to have something in the van, strictly as a #1 option. Please don't poop in my toilet. Up here is our coffee, tea, spices, and laundry or dish soap shelf. We got a couple books, just the quick things that you might need. I didn't really want to have a full overhead shelf. Athena doesn't like how they kind of get in your space. This is a good way to just keep the necessities up there while also offering a place for this touch-sensitive lamp that you can dim, which is really nice as kind of a mood lighting. I call this the seat of power for 2 reasons. 1, it houses our 12-inch self-powered sub, which really kicks. But 2, it also houses our 200 amp hours of Battleborn lithium batteries and all of our electrical systems. One of the things that I found that I really don't like in other builds is how difficult it can be to get to some of the electrical systems. This one, I've made it just so you flip down. You've got all your breakers, fuse panel, shutoffs, everything super accessible. So the whole system is really easy to work on. You can just slide right off there. Plops in here, and now ready for dinner or to work. I want to take a second to show you guys some of the seating options that we have in the van. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Lagoon table has a mount right here for sitting at the table. It also has one on the fridge, so when you pull that out, you can work in the passenger seat as well when it's turned around. The table stows nicely on the back side of the bed. We went with a Murphy bed because it allows you this awesome open area to walk back and forth. Additionally, we've got this side, which acts as a secondary counter space. Super easy to pull down our Campo bags and get to all of our clothes. Additionally, this whole piece is on a hinge and pops up out of the way so that you can get fast storage to all of your gear underneath. Back here, we've also got ridiculous things like our Dyson from our house. That was really important to Athena to keep things super clean back here. And then also our 2000 watt Ames inverter charger so that we can charge our batteries from shore power or have smoothies from our Vitamix. To fold down the bed, it's just these two quick girl bolts. Flips down. I've got hyper vent on top, which allows airflow underneath the mattress so you don't get mold. Flip down your mattress, hoping that the sheet stays on, and boom, bedtime. The flare houses all of our pillows and blankets, and you can see it's slightly tapered on this side, about 4.5 inches of depth over the regular wall panel on that side. We've also got some charger outlets in there, which is nice for charging things. Put the bed away, it's just the same thing in reverse. Flip this over, up, 1, 2, and the bed is away. That was kind of one of the most important things. My last van build had one of the bench bed setup. We found that we just left it in a bed all the time because it was such a pain. Move the table up to have a sitting area. So having a bed easily deployable, takes under 30 seconds to put down or up, makes living in here so nice. In the back, I've got this bike tray that I built out of heavy duty drawer slides that we had hanging around the shop. It also acts as a really great way to access all of our gear if we need to. You know, we've just got all my tools, shoes, extra clothes, water. This is our freezer for all of our frozen fruit and grapes, which is really nice. Push it in. Slide it all back in out of the way. Storage conveniently for 2 Campo chairs, as well as some window covers. Our propane heater on the back. I just got this little bamboo tray so that you can put that down without getting your feet dirty. That also means that there's some awesome towel hooks right here when you take a shower. All of that plumbs off of our water tank seen right here. We got a 15 gallons of fresh water in there with a shower port that can connect either just there for cold water, propane heater for a hot water shower if you need it. Over here I've got my gear rack, an axe for chopping firewood, quick draws for climbing, bike pump with a bunch of extra stuff, cord for shore power charging, a table that hangs up, just kind of all that random extra knickknacks that I think I might need but don't know when. Lives off in this corner. Along with the gigantic sub under the seat of power, I also have 2 Rockford Fosgate 6x9s. Another little thing I find myself using incredibly often are these Campo wall bags. They're perfect for a bike helmet. It also has all my storage for like gloves, tire tools, maps, stuff to clean off my bike. It's pretty wild how much stuff you can stuff in here, and as soon as you open the door, it's right there. Underneath the van, I've got a Amazon special 5.5 gallon tank that acts as our gray water. So this first switch controls the speaker system, so I can either run it off the starter battery when we're driving or the house battery when we're camping. This one is for my rear light pods. This is for my front light pods. Then I've got a USB with a voltage of the starter battery, so we can always monitor that. And when it gets annoying and it's in the night and you don't want to see it, all the lights can shut off. Finally, for ventilation, like I mentioned, we've got 2 operable windows, both with screens in them. Then we've got a Sirocco 360-degree fan here, a Max Air fan in the front, and then in the back, I've got this weird custom number I made out of 2 computer fans. One blows in, the other one blows out. It's just enough to get a little bit of airflow over you when you're in bed.
How much did you spend on the build?
That's a great question. I spent 14 grand on the van, and then since then I probably put another about 14 in parts all the way around. And then if you look on the outside, you'll see it's blue. It started as a white van, so that was a little costly. Probably the most expensive thing in the build. Cost about 5 grand to get a full paint job. All in, just shy of 35.
And how many hours of your hours do you have in it?
I would guess somewhere in the like 350 to 400 hours. One of the cool things is building this van was also a great experience and learning. Stuff probably took longer than it needed to, but it also was really fun, you know, to get to work with new materials and try things out that I wouldn't have had before. Just huge shout out to the guys at Campo, who none of this would have been possible without A, your expert knowledge, B, your awesome shop, and C, your amazing attitudes. So thanks for letting me work there, build this great rig, and now head on my way and live in it full time. Well, thanks for checking out my build. I hope you guys really liked it. A lot of time, love, and energy went into making this thing. A lot of weird custom touches that I didn't need to, but were just fun. Overall, it's fun, and here I am hitting the road.